No. Yes. No. We can see that 68th problem. The Rutherford bombards 7.7 million electron volt alpha particle, which is emitted by polonium 214. So this is emitting the alpha particle. It is incidenting on nitrogen 14 to intimate the nuclear reaction. Nitrogen 14 of alpha particle and proton, it becomes as a oxygen 17. The height of the Coulomb barrier forced by alpha particle. The height of the Coulomb barrier forced by alpha particle. So the barrier force which is acting on alpha particle is Vc is equals to Z1 Z1e into Z2e 4 pi epsilon naught R1 plus R2. This is a Coulomb force, potential barrier strength or potential barrier force. Now in this case here, R1 already we know, A1 power of 1 by 3 R naught, R2 is equals to A2 power 1 by 3 R naught. So if I substitute in the place of R1 and R2 here, this R1 and R2 values, then Vc is equals to Z1e into Z2e by 4 pi epsilon naught. R naught is a common term both cases, so R naught is written outside. A1, A2 are inside. A1 in the place of R1, A1 power 1 by 3 plus A2 power 1 by 3 as it is we are getting. So here Z1 is a alpha particle, so 2 protons are exist 2 into Z2 is a proton number is Z7 in the nucleus, so 2 into 7, and electron is charge is having 1.6 in 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. So square is there. So for this one it is a square. So I can write the square value is like this. So here the square value is total square. I am inserting here. So here the square. So square, because here the square is E1 and E and E is square. So square. This 4 pi epsilon naught value is 9 into 10 to the power of 9 divided by. So R naught value is 1.4 10 to the power of minus 15 fermions. So one here A1 value is for alpha particle mass number is 4 1 by 3. A2 is 14 neutron. So nitrogen 14 is the mass of the nitrogen where it is incidenting. So that nucleus power 1 by 3. If you simplify it, the values you are getting is almost Vc is equals to 5.763 10 to the power of minus 13 joules. So it is converted into million electron volts. Then it is going to become as a 3.6 million electron volts. Now I can say the nuclide 232 thorium decays by alpha particle emission with half-life is tau is equals to 4.45 in 10 to the power of 17 seconds. So what quantum mechanical model might be used to predict this half-life? Here for thorium 232, the quantum mechanical model was introduced by Wenzel, Kramer, Brillouin approximation. So these three scientists they have given some of the approximation for this half-life of thorium. In the radioactive chain, the second problem, another problem 62 is in the radioactive chain, the starting with 94 plutonium 242 and ending with 82 lead plumum 206. The number of alpha particle and beta particles totally emitted is asking how many number of alpha particle emitted, how many beta particles are emitted. So 242 minus 206, if you do it, you are getting 36. 36 means 4 into 9. 4 9 to 36 over. Okay, 9 alpha particle, it is confirmed. If you remove the this mass number and this mass number, if you remove it, you are getting what? 36. 36 means 9 4 ja 36. So 9 alpha particle is confirmed. But if you come to see it, 9 2 ja 18. So if you remove from here 94 minus, so here so 94 minus 18 is equal to 12 you are getting. So this mass number, this atomic number, if you remove it, then you are getting what? 12 number only. So from this I can say that, here 12 number is coming now. This 12 number exactly it belongs to 12 number. So 12 means minimum only 6 to 12. 6 alpha particles are required, but 9 alpha particles, 3 extra alpha particles are coming. So 18. So 18, 9 alpha particles are emitted. To cover to come back this atomic number 9, if you remove it 18 from 94, so remaining will be 6 alpha particles. So 6 beta particles are required to cover. So here 12 we are getting if you remove from this, but here 9 2 ja 18. So 18 minus 12, if you do it, you are getting 16 beta particles emission is required to get Pb element. Like that it is coming. So 9 alpha particles and 6 beta particles are required to become as a plutonium, as a blood, like this.